नमस्ते गुरुजी। जय गुरुजी महाराज। जय गुरुजी सत्संग जी। On behalf of multilingual global Sevatar team with folded hands, we thank you our Guruji Maharaj for entrusting and enabling us with the seva of organizing Sangat sharing. Today we are fortunate to have with us dear BABOO Sandhu ji to share her journey with Guruji Maharaj. As we all wish to deepen our connection with Guruji Maharaj, Babu Aunty, we look forward to hearing your experiences and blessings from Guruji Maharaj. Over to you, Babu Aunty. Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji to all. And thank you, Mr. Vasan, for giving me this opportunity to share our experiences, our divine experiences with our Guruji. So I welcome all those who connect from miles and miles uh, away, areas which are, I realize more than ever now, today, that Guruji's blessings knew no bounds, no boundaries. So I will first begin my journey, which began in 2003. I say my journey of this lifetime because, as you all know, we only know about this lifetime. But Guruji used to say that you've been with me for many lifetimes. You used to tell that to a lot of people. So, like they say, when the disciple is ready, the master will appear. So, in this case, it was my husband who was longing to have a master. I was in a different world. Being a young army wife, I had my own commitments, my children to look after, and I was leading a happy life. But my husband, he always uh, had this in mind that he has to have a living master. Now, this was the seed was put into his mind by his father, who was a very spiritual person. And he'd always tell him that you have to have a living master to advance spiritually. So he had been looking for one for a long time. And when he couldn't find one, he just considered our first Guruji, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, to be his master. He said, even if he is not living, he'll be my Guru. But strangely, Guruji had other things in mind. And even though I was really not interested in spirituality, I was instrumental in taking my husband to Guruji. How it all happened was that my husband's brother and his wife, who also happens to be my aunt, they were ardent disciples of Guruji. And they'd been going to him for about 10 years. They would often speak of him, but we couldn't make the connection. In fact, in today's world, where there are so many fake gurus and frauds, you tend to think this is not for us. In fact, when we were posted here in Chandigarh, in Chandi Mandir, Guruji was living just across the road in General Ahuja's house. And we even heard people mention that there is a guru and you must go to him. And we heard this conversation one odd time. And again, we shook our heads and we said, no, thank you. So I guess it was not a time. You can only go to Guruji when he calls you. So the calling was not there yet. So we went on in our life. Another 10 years passed. And when my husband was posted at Delhi, his brother and his sister-in-law again came to Delhi. because by then Guruji had moved to Delhi. So they stayed with us, and a vehicle was organized for them. And they said, well, we'd like to go to Guruji. And I don't know what made me say, I said, shall I come along? And my auntie was very happy. She said, yes, yes, please do. So we went, and those days Guruji was in Empire Estate, which was quite a distance from our house. So we went there, and I was quite mesmerized by all that I saw. And honestly, um, I was just curious. Uh, I just curiously looked around. I looked at the peace and tranquility on the people's faces. There were hymns being sung from our holy book, the holy book of the Sikhs, Guru Granth Sahib Ji, and beautiful hymns were being sung, recorded, and people were sitting so silently you could hear a pin drop. And everybody seemed to be in a different world, a world of peace and tranquility, and uh, the vibrations were very beautiful. And Guruji sat in his beautiful robes, and he was just looking around, blessing each and every person. So we had langar, which was food, divine food provided by Guruji. And after that, uh, everybody took their leave. And as we bowed down in front of him, I was introduced to him, and he said, "Yes, yes, I know who she is." And then he said, "Aya karo," meaning, "Do come." And I was wondering if it would be really possible for me to come, because it was quite a distance, and I was not sure if my husband would like the idea. So anyway, and I said, "Guruji, if I can't come, I hope you don't mind." He just nodded his head, he smiled, and he said, "Aya kar." So that was the beginning. And then some more family members came, and my husband also showed a little interest. So we all went together. That was the time uh, Guruji had not yet, uh, arrived on a seat, and we all sat. And you had to sit on the ground, and my husband had a problem sitting on the ground. He has a back problem. I'll talk about that a little later. So he sat for a while, and then when more people were being squeezed in into that tiny place, into the small space, I wouldn't say tiny. So he felt uncomfortable. He just got up and he went out. In fact, he was a little miffed because he couldn't sit. Guruji was not there, and he was walking up and down on the road. And he called up the cook and he said, "Chill 2 beers for me. I'll come home and have dinner." Whereas the system was that Guruji always served you langar. Langar is the divine food served by Guruji, and now today we all believe that that langar that you absorb into your body is what heals you, other than the hymns that you hear. And those are the hymns which were selected by Guruji. Even the singers, we call them Bhaiji, Pathiji, they were also selected by Guruji, because the same hymns have been sung by very many people. But his chosen ones are the ones which are charged with his energy. They're charged with his blessings, his love for all of us, for all his disciples. So my husband didn't come in, and we had our langar, we had our food, and when we took our leave, Guruji said, "Where is the general?" He knew. Guruji, this was the most surprising thing about him. It used to amaze us. He knew everything about you, inside out. He knew what was going on in your mind. He knew what was going on at home. He knew what is going on in your life and past, present, future. The moment he looked at you, he knew what was going on in your life, your past life. He knew everything. So he said, "Where is the general?" And one of us said, "He's outside." He said, "Go call him." So my niece went to call him. And when he came, uh, Guruji brought his ego a few notches down by asking him very pointed questions. Um, he told him, "I know who you are." In very few, very selected words, he let him know that your son-in-law and his brother are twins. Um, they live in Sector 16, and this is their surname. And we were all taken aback because there is no way anyone could have told him about that. And then he quipped a little crack about how Sandhu's, which is his surname, can be quite, they can be court jesters or words to that effect in Punjabi. Guruji used to speak very chaste Punjabi. In fact, at times it was difficult to catch what he was saying. So that was the first time. And my husband was also so charged with the beautiful energy, the beautiful aura of Guruji. That place, Empire Estate, was somebody's home. So it was a biggish L-shaped room, which was that's where Guruji lived. And on one end of the room was his throne. We used to call it a throne. So he would sit on his throne and he would just have his divine gaze all over, piercing gaze all over the people, blessing them, knowing what their troubles were. And before you could spell out what was wrong or what the, you see, people mostly came because they had problems in their lives. They had financial, business, health, so many other problems. Life itself is a challenge. So all the challenges that they could not cope up with, they would come to Guruji and they would ask for relief. And he did. He gave that. He blessed so many people. Let me tell you, right in front of our eyes, we've seen cancers from the body disappear. We've seen heart problems disappear. We've seen diabetic people who were fed in Guruji's presence with, and you know how our Indian sweets can be. They are extremely, they are loaded with sugar. And he would make them eat a whole lot of sweet. And he would tell them, okay, go get yourself checked tomorrow. And sure enough, the problem was gone. And when Guruji sorted out a problem, it was gone for good. It was gone for good. So that is how our journey started. And Guruji was extremely kind. He permitted us to come to his darbar. We used to call it darbar, his congregation, every for all 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we all looked forward to, people had this magnetic pull to go be with Guruji, even though he hardly spoke, he hardly gave any discourse. He was just healing you with his energy, with his gaze, with his food that you consume there, and with the chai prasad, which was tea in the form of, divine tea, which everybody enjoyed. And that is what healed people. And at times he would, tell people to do a certain ritual, which was more because the people believed in rituals and they felt that He just had to look at you for you to heal. But he would give you a little ritual, go throw these coins in the flowing river or something like that. That was more to win the faith of people, because in today's world, we only believe in miracles. And, you know, uh, if he just looked at you and he said you are healed, we would probably not believe it, because we are so much into these superstitions and rituals, and especially in our country where we run to the pandit, we run to these seers, the fortune tellers, and let me tell you, he discouraged you. He discouraged you to go to any of these. And he would very clearly say astrology is a wonderful science, but not very many people know about it. They know nothing about it, or they can guide you wrong, and it can do more harm than benefit. So that was Guruji's system. And I remember we had been going to him for about a month, and I'll tell you about my healing. Uh, we'd been going to him for about a month or so when no, we'd been going to him for about a month, and I'd been suffering from this problem called Meniere's disease, which is fluid in your inner ear, which gives you vertigo, which gives you dizzy spells, and it's quite a debilitating condition when it carries on and on and on, and you're never free from it, morning, day, night, not for a second. So my life used to be one dizzy spell, at times more, at times less, but I was dizzy all the time. So I had tried everything. I had tried every treatment from the best of the doctors, from the best of homeopaths. I never believed in going to astrologers and things, but yes, medication. I tried everything, and I'd even tried Ayurvedic, which didn't help at all. And so this had been carrying on for 18 years, but I never asked Guruji to heal, because by then we had learned that whatever problems you go with to Guruji, he takes them upon himself. And honestly, with our own eyes, we've seen how he was rosy, fair, and glowing one day, and there would be these spots all over his face. People have seen his nails turn blue. People have seen his feet turn blue. And those who were in his service, who were taking care of him, they've seen when he did a major healing of some fatal disease, he would be vomiting blood and he couldn't sleep. In any case, he slept very little, he ate very little, and he would be vomiting blood. So by then, one had got so attached to Guruji, and you didn't want anything happening to him. And in any case, I'd suffered from this problem for the past 18 years. And honest to God, it never even occurred to me that I should ask him to heal me. Because, you know, there were people with much bigger problems, and it didn't feel right. So, uh, one fine morning, this attack of vertigo began. Normally, it was, I would say, at 1 to 10, it would remain at 4 or 5. But when the attack came, it would be very severe, and I would say to the level of 7 or 8. And this attack, when it began, it was the intensity of, I would say, 9.5, and it made my life very miserable. I was laid up in bed, my tummy backed up, my loud noises in my ears, and even if I moved my head very slightly, everything would spin. So by then we knew that Guruji heals. So I didn't go to him and ask him, which is actually asking in your mind is as bad as asking him. Whereas I'm telling you, I never asked him because I didn't want to trouble him. But again, we do become selfish. And when I couldn't bear it anymore, I said, Guruji, I'm not having this medicine. I used to have a little medicine which helped slightly. So I just threw those medicines and I said, Guruji, if you heal me, it's fine. Otherwise, fine too. Either way. So my husband, he scolded me. He said, what's wrong with you? Have the medicine. I'll get you more. So I said, no, if Guruji heals me, it's fine. And I am not having. Guruji tested me. Guruji would test you also. Guruji had his ways of testing you. So he wanted to check how much faith I really have in him. The attack carried on, becoming more and more and more severe. And one of those days, I would say after about 15 days, so around 7th day, I get a dream of Guruji. And before I proceed further, let me tell you, when you get Guruji's dream, it's his actual visitation. That's what Guruji's told us. He's actually visiting you. So I see his, you know, I see him up till here and he's looking at me. It's in our bedroom and it's like it's in a picture frame. And then that frame becomes elongated and it becomes a full length mirror or frame. And I see Guruji standing in that. And then he turns his head like so. I forgot all about the dream. My problem carried on for another 4, 5, 6 days. I don't remember now because this was in 2003. So uh, now with this problem, when I had this attack, it would taper down slowly. It wouldn't just finish in a jiffy. Slowly, it would taper down and it would come to a level of 2, like I said, from the number 10. So intensity. And 16th day or 15th day, I don't remember clearly. I woke up. I woke up so fresh, which was a dream come true for me. I mean, I would wake up and move my head normally so gingerly because I didn't want to trigger that dizzy attack. And this morning, I wake up fresh as a daisy and still very carefully when I moved my head, nothing happened. And I moved it slightly more and then vigorously. And that, my friends, was the last for about a year or so. And suddenly I developed this problem in my eye. It was choroiditis. It's inflammation of the retina from inside, or so I remember. It's been a long time now. I think that is what I was told by the doctor. And my eyes were in a very bad shape. Bloodshot, I couldn't see. You know, your world goes crazy if you can't see well. And if it is, see, even if we get a little something in our eye, we get so upset. And here, the whole days, all days were hazy and my eyes were bloodshot. So we went to the doctor and he told me what the problem. And he also told me that the only solution is steroids. And he said, but the thing is, when you administer steroids, the latent TB I'm not finding the right word. So he said, we'll have to first test that. So the test, they checked, it was positive. So I had every chance of not only losing my eyes, which was well on the cards. With this problem, you can lose your eyesight, but I was also going to land up with tuberculosis. So it threw me off. I was quite upset. But again, even though I wanted to tell Guruji, I wouldn't tell him. So when we went to uh, Guruji's darbar, uh, everybody could see my eyes were in a bad shape. They said, what happened? So I told them this. So one of my friends, she said, go tell him. I said, no. She said, what nonsense? Go tell him. I'm going to tell him. When I shook my head, she went. Now, I honestly, till date, I've never asked her whether she told Guruji or not, but I was relieved, to be honest. Honestly, I was relieved. I said, Chalo, Guruji now knows. But when I bowed down in front of him to take leave, did nothing, just kept sitting. I also kept looking at him beseechingly. So he says, what is your doctor saying? I said, you could only muster a few words in front of Guruji, or at least I couldn't. I just couldn't open up. My reverence, my respect, or whatever you may call him, was so much that I couldn't hold long conversations with Guruji. I wish I could have. We had no idea he's going to go away so soon, really. So when I looked at him, he said, I said, the doctor says you have to take steroids and you will end up with TB. He said, nonsense. He said, nothing. The doctor's talking nonsense. And asked it to me, how did Guruji know that the honey that comes to my house comes from my parents' place far, far away? He even knew that. The next day, I filled up a big pot and carried it, and he blessed it. And we came to our home station. And I we thought another opinion from a known doctor. Maybe this doctor was talking nonsense, like Guruji said. So, look, we talk of great faith in Guruji, but those days, Guruji would make you have strong faith, and then he would say something that faith was shaken. Today, if I even dream of Guruji and he tells me something, I'll never go back and check with others. Never, ever. So that happened. We went to our eye specialist, who was also a relative. He said, you have a problem. You have to have steroid. Uh, and that's the only way. I was very hesitant. Uh, Steroids is not, well, I didn't want. So he said, you have to have, we'll start with the mild dose. Let's see how it goes. So I asked him, I said, can I put honey in my eyes? Honest to God, he nearly fell off his chair. He said, Auntie, what is wrong with you? You look like an educated lady. You don't realize what the condition of your eyes is. You want to go blind? So I said, okay, okay. I want. But we came home, that medicine had to be administered in the eyes. I had to, I think, consume more medicine also, whatever. I don't even remember. It was so far back. So that medicine in the eyes about 6 times. And along with that, morning and evening, I would put Guruji's blessed honey, which burnt like crazy. But I carried on. Third day, honestly, you won't believe, my eyes were almost clear. Fifth day or sixth day, we went to the doctor and he was amazed. I can never forget his words, and I always like to repeat these. He said, Auntie, do you believe in God? I said, Of course I believe in God. He said, Do you know? This is nothing short of divine intervention. I have a feeling my battery is going low. I need to do something about it. Forgive me. Please forgive me. Please forgive me. And give little break. How did this happen? Anyway, the doctor gave me, he was astounded. He said, Do you believe in God? This is nothing short of divine intervention. He said, I've never seen such a miraculous healing. Raja, the battery's low. So he said, Nothing short of a miracle. I didn't tell him about Guruji's honey. I didn't tell him that I've been putting honey in my eyes. So that was our Guruji. That was our Guruji. So let me tell you of one more healing, and that is a friend. I don't know, Guruji is making me say this. This is regarding, I am an artist. I'm a silk artist. And oh, sorry, I'll hold it. Okay, okay. But it's hello, no, it's frozen. I'm so sorry for this interruption.
It's okay.
And yes. So, yes, good to go. Yes. So the eyes were healed, thanks to Guruji. And till date, I'm 71. I still have good eyesight. Whatever Guruji does, he does it for good. I'm amazed most of my friends, or even younger than me, they have cataract, they have this, that problem. And here, thanks to Guruji, all is good. So, yes, I was going to tell you about a friend. I, being an artist, I was a part of a few international forums. And that is where I came across a very sweet person called Maureen Riley. She's a very dear friend. Over the years, we've developed a very good friendship, and we've been interacting with each other. And suddenly, one day, she calls and she tells me how her companion has been found to have non Hodgkin's. She seemed very upset. See, normally, when you speak of Guruji, we were very reluctant to tell people about Guruji because, firstly, people have their own spiritual leanings. You don't want to interfere in that. Secondly, well, everyone has their own spiritual journey, and you don't want to play on people's minds or whatever. Well, there was hesitation. But something like Guruji was goading me to tell her about him. So early in the morning, or was it late at night, I spoke to her just a little about Guruji, and I said, "You may not believe, but we have personally seen so many healings take place in front of our eyes. If you believe that there are higher beings who are sent to this earth just to heal people, you may like to uh, pray to my Guruji. I will send you his picture. If you put that picture under the pillow of your companion, I'm sure Guruji's blessings will be on him." She replies almost immediately and she says, I sent her the picture, of course. And she said, this was early in the morning, I remember. She said, "You know what, Babu? When I heard your message, I got angel shivers, and which was a sign for me to go ahead." So she said, and she also has spiritual leanings. So she said, "I've already done that. I've taken out a picture of Guruji and I've put it under Doug's pillow." And then, having done that, I didn't ask her, and we were not in touch for about 3 weeks or so. And all the time, I would tell Guruji, "Guruji, please don't let me down." I have told her that you will heal him with a lot of faith. You better heal him. So, and this also shows how when you pray for somebody, when you ask for somebody, not yourself, Guruji really opens his heart and opens his blessings. So 3 weeks later or 2 weeks later, she says, um, we went to the hospital. Uh, Firstly, he's calmed down. There's color in his cheeks. He's eating well. And his blood cells, which were supposed to decline, they were expecting them to decline, that has stopped. So that was again a good sign. Again, I was a little fearful. Guruji, please bless them. So another 3, 4 weeks passed. And then again, she spoke to me. She said, "You know what? There are others with similar problem, and their organs, I mean, this is such a fast moving problem, and it consumes your organs." And she said, uh, those friends of ours or a friend of theirs, his organs are failing, whereas Doug was getting better and better, and he didn't have to go through any harsh treatments. They said, "We'll be able to treat him with medicine." And I really don't know the details, but this carried on. And then one fine day, not very, not after a long duration, she calls me and she tells me that he is cancer free. And that when you hear of something like this, you love even Guruji more if that is possible. He is so benign and he takes such good care of you, and he's there only to help people. And all he asks you is to love God. He would always say, "Don't be fearful of God. You have nothing to be scared of." All our lives, right from the childhood, and I notice this in every community, every religion, we are always told, "Do this, otherwise God will be angry. Do this, otherwise this will happen to you." He said, "Don't be afraid of God. You have nothing to fear. Just love God. So that was his message. And let me tell you, his messages were very simple. Let's come down to his messages now. Um, he would always say, when we sat there in Guruji's presence, so many times the hymns were being sung, recorded hymns, and we would just be sitting. You can't meditate for 3 hours and 4 hours or 5 hours, but we'd just be sitting there absorbing all the beautiful energy and the divinity and the beautiful ambience. And what was I going to tell you? Dirty old lady. Okay. So Guruji would tell you, yeah, the cleansing. At times, you well up. You would just well up for no reason. There is nothing wrong going on in your life. You have nothing to fear, nothing that is bothering you, and you would well up and you would start crying. And how the tears would flow and flow and flow, and you're listening to, and you're trying to be silent. That was his way of cleansing you. That was his way of cleansing you. When your heart is touched, your soul is touched, and the cleansing is taking place. So he would always tell, again, like I said, he wouldn't give discourses very often, but he would always tell you to clean your utensil, meaning from this utensil inside you. Keep it shining, keep it glistening, keep it clean, meaning we all know what that means. I don't have to spell out. Be kind, be generous, be, if you cannot help someone, at least don't harm somebody. He would say that. And he would say humility is a virtue which you don't see very much these days, but he stressed upon that. He said, anyone who comes with a very straightforward approach to me, he'll get blessed. He said, yes, you need to be tough and strong and conniving and whatever, what have you to do to survive in this world. But don't do it here. And don't do it in life. He would always say, stay good, stay simple, stay humble, down to earth. And how he taught those lessons. Maybe for another time, there are stories which I'd love to share, but for another time. So all he said was, love God, stay simple, and stay humble. Don't, if you can help somebody, if you can be kind to somebody, be kind, don't harm people. And another thing he would always say, I heard him say this once, if a beggar comes, if you don't want to give him anything, just join your hands. Don't treat them badly. They are being treated badly by God in any case. You don't treat them badly. Just be kind and just join your hands. You don't have to give them. We all believe that, there are bigger bad things happening even with the beggars and the mafia and all that. But even if you don't want to, just join your hand. And honestly, I've seen you do that and they just move away. We know there's so many beggars in India. So these were his simple ways. And regarding the satsangs, the meetings, the divine meetings we always hold, we call them satsangs. Even for that, simplicity is the key word. You don't have to have the best of dishes. You don't have to have 20 odd dishes. During his time, there were just two things. There were very simple food, cooked with love and devotion, and served with love and devotion. And chai prasad, tea, which was served. And there is no need to go all out. There is, I mean, you can't think of serving caviar at Guruji's satsang because you want to please Guruji. He doesn't get pleased by, you know what I mean. Simplicity in every form, simplicity in your life, humility in your life, clean life. Let me tell you, nobody could do wrong things and come to his darbar. He was pulled up nice and proper. We have seen so many people begging him not to say a word, and he would just let the whole Sangat know. And he would say, are you telling them, or do you want me to tell the Sangat what you've been up to? So many times it's happened. So regarding the satsangs, they have to be, say, during Guruji's time, let's not start doing new things. I've told you the hymns that were sung in Guruji's presence were chosen by him. They have been blessed by him. And he told you to listen to those hymns. It has nothing to do with religion. It has all to do with his blessing. He's blessed those, he's charged those. You listen to them, it'll bring you peace, tranquility, calm. It wasn't that you were only meditating. After the food was over, the langar was served. After that, there were beautiful songs being sung by his favorite singers, by so many other good singers. So all that for later. But during that 1.5 hours, it should only be Guruji's hymns being sung, which, honest to God, very many of you may feel that you don't understand them. In fact, he once said, who's asking you to understand them? Who's asking you to make out what they're saying? You just need to listen because this is your blessing. So, Sangatji, this is what we call our disciple brothers and sisters. You all are our family. I don't know who all are there, but we have a very special bond. If you are present in this satsang, please take it that you are a blessed one to be here. You cannot even be hearing this if he doesn't so desire. So I thank you with all my heart. I thank you for your presence. I thank you for opening out your hearts to his blessings, to his wisdom. And may Guruji bless you, uh, your homes, your families. And with that, I beg leave. Mr. Vasan, I beg leave from Guruji. Jai Guruji. Thank you.
Jai Guruji Maharaj. Dhan Dhan Guruji Maharaj. It was a very divine and blissful Sangha sharing by you, Baboo Sandhuji.
Thank
On behalf of all the Sangat listening, I wish to thank you, Baboo Sandhuji, for your valuable messages and the experiences you shared. These are blessings indeed from
all
Guruji
his blessings.
Maharaj. Yep.
Thank
Let's take Agya from Guruji Maharaj. Jai Guruji. Shukrana Guruji.